you've got a great SaaS product and you have revenues, but now you need to scale. You need more pipeline, you need more leads, you need more attention so that you can accelerate your path to that next stage of growth. So what do? One of the biggest things I talk about in this channel is to build out a go-to-market strategy and have a manifesto. A manifesto is essentially a lead magnet that you can use and bring it to your ideal customers so that you can educate them and get them to come into your world and buy your product. So here's a big question. Suppose you actually have this manifesto. How do you get it out there? How do you build out a landing page? And how do you promote it? And how do you actually make it a critical part of your go-to-market machine? In this episode, I'm going to walk you through the 3 principles that you absolutely need to know. This is an in-depth one, so get ready for it. The 3 principles that you absolutely need to know and exactly how to do it on how to launch a landing page that's way more high converting and use your manifesto to generate quality pipeline and revenues for your SaaS business. And when you follow these exact steps that I'm going to show you, you'll be able to accelerate your path to that next stage of growth. Intro. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Unstoppable. I'm TK, and on this channel, I help SaaS founders like you grow your SaaS business faster with an unstoppable strategy. Now, if you're new to this channel, welcome. I drop an episode every single Sunday with actionable strategies and tactics from the trenches on how to grow your SaaS business faster. So be sure to hit that subscribe button and that bell icon. That way you'll get notified every single time I drop an episode with the TK energy. If you're already part of this channel, if you're part of this community, if you're part of my SaaS go-to-market coaching programs, my people, welcome back. It's really awesome to see you over here. In my last company, ToutApp, we pioneered the sales engagement space. I learned and studied from the best of the best on how to generate demand. ToutApp went on to amass over 100,000 users. We grew the company. We were backed by Andreessen Horowitz, and we sold it to Marketo, which was kind of interesting because when I was building ToutApp and I was learning about go-to-market and I was doing all these pieces around how do we generate demand, how do we get users, how do we market this, I studied Dharmesh Shah from HubSpot and Phil Fernandez from Marketo. It was all kind of a full circle moment when Marketo bought us and I joined their executive team, and I got to see front row exactly how things work inside of that company that created the playbook on how to drive demand. And that company was going close to $500 million in ARR. We did a 2-year turnaround on that company, and then we sold it to Adobe for $4.75 billion. After that, I've been running this channel, sharing everything that I've learned on how to grow SaaS businesses. And building a go-to-market strategy and executing on it is one of the big things I constantly talk about. In this episode, I wanted to do something slightly different. I wanted to go really in-depth on once you have your ideal customer profile, once you have your manifesto, that's your lead magnet, how do you actually mobilize that and use it to generate traffic and generate leads and generate pipeline? So I'm going to break it down into 3 principles that you can follow, and I'll show you exactly how I implement it using one of the manifestos that I've been working on recently for one of my SaaS companies. The principles that you need to know, I'm going to lay out the 3 principles first, and I'm going to show you how to implement them one at a time. It's going to be super fun. If you're excited to dig in, go ahead and smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. It just loves it when you do that. Let's go to principle number 1. So principle number 1 is you need to have essentially a landing page that you can actually drive traffic to. This is the page where whether you're posting on LinkedIn, or you're posting on Facebook, or you're running ads, or you have a blog and you drive traffic to this landing page. Normally, you can just drive traffic to your homepage, but the homepage, that's like the main site for your website, it kind of just works if someone's already ready to buy. And that's a small percentage of the audience. The rest of the people, you really need to educate them. You need to educate them about the problem. You need to educate them about what's going on in their lives and how your software helps. That's why we build a manifesto, to educate our ideal customers about why they need your solution. And then you warm them up to actually trying it out or talking to sales or getting into your sales process. One of the biggest pieces about this is to just establish a landing page that actually you can drive traffic to, and then you can use that landing page to collect their email and nurture them, but more importantly, educate them with your manifesto. Once you have this in place, then you actually want to give your manifesto. And your manifesto is your strategic narrative. It's your core messaging. It's exactly how you communicate and educate your ideal buyers about what it is that you do, what problem you solve, what the transformation is, and how you're going to change their lives with their software. Because here's the thing, no one wakes up in the morning saying, I want to buy more software. They have problems, and if you're solving the problems, then they'll pay attention to you and buy your software. And so the second piece of this is you have to show them an educational piece of content that really educates them on what the big problem you're solving is with your software. Once you have that, the third principle is you can then say, hey, if you got value from this, we'd love to talk, or you should try our product. And so you can either take them into a trial experience, or you can take them into a sales experience, depending on your product led or your sales led. And this is roughly how this whole machine works. Now, there are a lot of details to implementing all of these pieces and all the machinery that goes behind it, but broadly speaking, these are the three parts. This is why you build a landing page, you build a manifesto, and then you build a call to action so that they can actually engage more in your buying process. This is kind of the three steps that we follow, right? And I talk about this in the channel all the time. And this is the oldest strategy in the book when it comes to generating demand and creating demand. This is how you educate your market if people aren't looking already, but also at the same time, you can also target people that are looking and you can go at them in a very differentiated way. This is the three steps that you follow. It's super simple, but the devil's in the details. So what I want to do now is I'm going to walk you through a manifesto that I had to create recently for one of my SaaS companies. And I'm going to walk you through step-by-step on how I build a landing page so that it converts at least 10% higher than the average market. I'm going to show you how it goes into the manifesto. I'm going to show you how it goes into the trial process for this product. So if you're excited to dig in to the actual way I implement all these pieces and how a landing page comes together, what makes it super compelling, and how to actually get them into the manifesto, and how to then get them towards the trial, I'm going to smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm, and let's switch over to my screen where I'm going to show you the details. Here's the thing, you can use any product you want, but I've worked at Marketo, I know HubSpot, I know all the landing page software out there, there's so many, but none of them build landing pages and lead magnet landing pages this effectively. And I'm gonna show you why, and this is why I like to use it. But you can still watch this and use the principles I teach you for your own landing page software if you want to, or you can use Instant. It's completely up to you. The point here is I'm gonna show you what makes for a successful landing page and how I build it. So I've got a manifesto, I'm building a manifesto, and I had to put this out there, so I followed the same process, and I was like, okay, let's make a video about how I did it. So I'm building a manifesto. It's called my 3-point strategy for SaaS pipeline growth. That's my lead magnet. And what I did is I actually built out the manifesto already. Let me show you what it looks like. This is my manifesto. Now, every manifesto is different, honestly. I work with founders. I work with over 250 founders in my go-to-market program on building manifestos. Everyone is different. Everything is nuanced. It really depends on the market you're going after, who your competitors are, what the messaging is. So I followed my process to build out my ideal customer profile and then build out my manifesto. So now I have a manifesto, and it's called my 3-point strategy for SaaS pipeline growth. So in order to build a landing page in Instant, you don't have to mess around with layout and design. It knows what a highly optimized lead magnet landing page is. So what it does instead is like, hey, answer some questions for me and I'll build a landing page for you. And you can do this in like 90 seconds, which is super powerful. So I'm just gonna plug it in. I'm gonna say, it's my 3-point strategy for SaaS pipeline growth. Great. Then it's gonna say, cool, what is the audience for this lead magnet? That's an important part. Clearly articulating who this is for in your landing page is super important. So I'm gonna say this is for SaaS growth leaders. Cool. And you'll see that as I type these pieces in, it starts building the landing page for me, which is super powerful. The next thing says, what's the ultimate result your audience wants? Well, they want to accelerate their path to 50 million ARR. And let's say 50 million plus. Pretty simple. That's who wants pipeline growth. What do they get inside the lead magnet? Well, in my manifesto, I have 3 critical components to building quality pipeline using a lead magnet. Super easy. It's a little meta, but it still works. And you'll notice that as I answer these questions, it's building out the messaging for me. That's how powerful this is. One of the most important pieces of a successful landing page for your lead magnet is you have to show how to build social proof and trust. You have to show why they trust you. Otherwise, conversion rates tank. And the reason these kind of landing pages perform 10% higher than average is because we include all these key components. That's the power of this. And so over here it says, well, like, why should they trust you? Succinctly articulate why you are credible. So I have a standard one for this that I use for everything. It's my story about building ToutApp and Marketo and working at Marketo. So all of that is in there. So I just plug that in, boom. And then I hit next. Now you'll notice that in about, a minute, it built the landing page for me. It actually shows what you're gonna get, who it's for, why you should trust me, and then you're gonna enter your first name and email address and get going right away. It's so powerful. And once you have this, the next piece is, all right, when people sign up for that landing page, you want to give them the lead magnet right away. A lot of times they're like, okay, we emailed it to you, go to your inbox, see you later, and here's another thing that you might want. And it's like, just give them the content. We crafted this manifesto for a reason. We wanted to make it so compelling that they actually consume it. It's so high quality that they're actually like, oh my God, this is great. I trust this company. I love this information. I want to learn more. And so we want to serve it up right away. So the power of Instant is you can just plug in the link to your manifesto, and once someone becomes a lead, we just serve it up right away. And because we're serving it up, it actually tracks how far along the manifesto they consume, how much time they spent on it. This tells you if your manifesto is any good or not. And that's one of the things, right? You send it out, you don't really know if it does anything, but in this case, it'll actually measure your content and tell you, hey, here's how you can improve it, which is really powerful. And then, okay, if we go back over here, we already built out the landing page. So boom, that took what, like 30 seconds, 90 seconds. We already have our manifesto plugged in. And now it comes to this call to action. Like once they've consumed the content, what do we want them to do? That's also baked into Instant. So this is one of the key things. You always want to have a call to action after you serve up your manifesto and your lead magnet, because you want them to progress. Like, hey, if you got value from this, we want to talk to you, or we want you to start the trial. You're educating them on this. And so over here, I'm going to say, let's just do learn more. And we're gonna say, you gotta plug in your value prop. I already worked on my go-to-market strategy for this product and followed my process. So I know what my value prop is and I can test it over time. So I'm just gonna plug it in over here. Hey, like, do you wanna launch your thought leadership campaign? Learn more. And it'll just link to our getting started page. And it's as simple as that. So now, not only, let's come back over here, I have my landing page, I have my manifesto, and I have my call to action to lead them into doing an actual product experience, because this one's product led. Now, mind you, if you are sales led, just as easily, you can just do schedule a demo or book a strategy call, and this button changes right over here, and it shows your value prop right over here. But in this case, we're gonna do start free trial. And then finally, I'm gonna say, okay, cool, that's it. And I hit publish, and boom, my landing page is now created based on my go-to-market strategy and the manifesto that I have. That's it. Now you have a landing page. It's awesome. And it's highly optimized, and it's gonna monitor all the data so you can actually iterate on it. So in just a few seconds, those are the key things that I think about when I have a manifesto and I know who I'm targeting, when I know what my value proposition is, I know what my messaging is. I'm like, cool, let's mobilize this. And just like that, I now have a high converting landing page. So what's the next thing? Just because you built a landing page doesn't mean it's gonna work, doesn't mean it's gonna generate leads. You actually have to promote it in all these different traffic sources. This is what we call a Broadway show. Once you have a go-to-market strategy, well, a strategy is nothing without execution. You have to execute on that strategy, and you have to be consistent about it. And that's the power of having this centralized lead magnet. You can now go post all over, you can run ads, you can do all kinds of things, consistently driving traffic to this landing page to convert them into leads and then activate them in your product or in your sales process. So you might be wondering, all right, TK, I have a landing page, I have the manifesto up, what do I do now? Like, how do I promote it? This is where it gets super exciting. So over here, I now have my dashboard. So this is my 3-point strategy for pipeline growth. I just created this. It has a unique URL. Everything is super trackable. So let's just say I want to go into LinkedIn and I want to do a post and I want to promote this. I can now go do a LinkedIn post and I can say, hey, if you want to grab a copy of my 3-point strategy guide, just follow the link below. And they can come to my landing page, which is this beautiful landing page right over here. And they can put in their email address. That's my email, and let's do this. And it'll take them right into my manifesto and also give me the call to action. It's that powerful. And most importantly, as I look through this, it'll actually highlight exactly how far I've gone. It'll track it all on the back end. Okay, so now you might be wondering, well, how do I promote this, right? So this is where instant content comes in really handy. One of the things I realized is promoting the lead magnet and the manifesto can be a lot of work. Not everyone's a great writer, but everyone's got a story to tell. So instant content actually knows your go-to-market strategy. It knows who you're targeting, who your ICP is, what your lead magnet has, what you're offering, what the URL to your landing page is. It knows everything. So what I can go in over here and say, you know what? Instant content. I would like to promote this landing page and this lead magnet. Can you help me? And it's like, of course. What do you want to share? Well, do you want to share a personal moment, a lesson learned, a customer story, an open-ended question? I'm like, you know what? I want to share a lesson learned. Great. What is the one-liner hook? The one-liner hook is that first line that always comes up in any LinkedIn post or any ad. That's the thing that attracts attention. And that's the hardest thing for non-marketers or even marketers to come up with. Well, Instant knows who your ICP is. It knows who you're targeting. So it'll automatically generate for you a whole bunch of hooks that you can use right over here to actually write a post for you. So I can say, you know what? Let's go with why product-led growth is the future of SaaS and how to implement it successfully. That's pretty powerful. So what's the story? What did I learn? A lesson I learned is that PLG works when your target market wants to try the product instead of talking to a salesperson. Every market is different, so pick whether you do PLG or sales-led accordingly. Pretty simple, right? That's a pretty little story. This is a lesson that I learned, and this is true. I've done videos on this. There's no right or wrong between product-led or sales-led. It just depends on how your ideal customer wants to buy. So based on that, I'm just gonna hit generate post. And at that point, Instant is gonna go to work for me. It's gonna analyze my go-to-market strategy, and then it's gonna tap into GPT, of course, you saw this coming, and actually use our trained model on how to write effective posts or promote a lead magnet to actually write a post for you. Just like that, it has a post right there. So over here it says why product-led growth is the future of SaaS and how to implement it successfully. As a SaaS growth leader, I've learned that the market's preference for trying the product instead of talking to a salesperson is driving the future of SaaS growth. This is where product-led growth comes in. That's true. But here's the thing, every market is different. So it's important to pick whether you do PLG or sales. Now you saw this right over here. It wrote this whole thing based on just these inputs. That's how great our trained models are. Instant has a custom trained model on exactly how to write demand generation copy so you can actually excite your audience, educate them just from some tidbits, and then drive them to the lead magnet. And you'll see over here, remember, the future of SaaS is product-led growth. If you want to stay ahead of the game and accelerate your growth, then you should check out, grab a complimentary copy of my 3-point strategy guide. And the link is here. That's a pretty good post. You know what? I'm going to say I want to share this on Twitter. So I'm going to do copy. I'm going to go over to Twitter right over here. And I'm going to paste this in. Boom, right there. And there we go. And I'm going to tweet it. And boom. Now I have an actual piece of content that is going to be promoted out there, and it's going to drive traffic to my landing page so that I can actually generate leads. So we're about, 20 minutes in on this video. Based on everything that I've showed you, what you've seen is you can actually build a landing page. You have your manifesto, you can load that in, and then you can set up your call to action, and then you can actually generate content because Instant understands your go-to-market strategy and is trained on how to promote lead magnets and can help you generate content so you can start to promote this every single day. Now, there's one last piece I want to show you of how this whole thing comes together because I'm going through this myself. Like every video that I share, I'm always like, okay, I'm in the trenches with you. And so I'm not joking. I coach 250 founders directly and I work with them directly on their manifestos. And I also own SaaS businesses, so I'm running my manifesto and my Broadway show and my ICP as well. The last piece of this is as you start to get things out there, it's all about the data. And that's the last piece I want to show you on. Once you have all this wired up and you're promoting it and you're putting the content out there, the last piece you really need to think about is, well, what's working, what's not, and how do I iterate? I'm going to show you that next, but before I do that, let me just pause here for a second. I know this is a longer video and I'm going really in depth. I'm going into like, here's exactly how I do it. And honestly, this stuff turns me on. I know that, I was like, okay, do we go in depth on this or do we not? But I wanted to do it because I really want to show you exactly how I do it behind the scenes and how I help other founders do it. So if you're getting value from this, go ahead and smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. And also, can I just get a yes in the comments below? That way I know you're with me. Also, if you're in this stage where you're like, hey, I want to launch a landing page, I want to promote my message, I have a lead magnet, I have a manifesto, I know my go-to-market strategy, then you should definitely use Instant because it's so powerful. It's not just a landing page builder, it's an entire marketing platform that helps you promote and generate pipeline and educate your audience. It's incredibly powerful. I'll link to it below. You don't have to go anywhere right now. Let's go to the last principle that I want to show you in this because this is what brings it all together. Okay, so I just created this landing page right in front of you, right with you guys. I want to show you what happens as you do this. Let's just say you come in every day to Instant and you post content and you just don't do it in Twitter, you do it on LinkedIn, and then you take some of this and you turn them into ads and you start to scale and you start to get real traffic going. What does it look like then? So I want to show you a different manifesto that I have for one of my other SaaS companies. I operate two right now. One of my other SaaS companies has this manifesto. It's called the SaaS Referral Automation Blueprint. Super powerful. And I've been running this landing page for quite some time. One of the things that I always encourage founders to do, and I talk about in this channel, is to do marketing math. You need to do the math on what's working and what's not, and how you can optimize and get to that next stage. And this is one of those things where a lot of people just do the activities and they don't do the strategy. But in this case, when you know your ICP, you know your value prop, you have the message, you have the manifest, it's so much better. The execution gets better. But in other cases, what ends up happening is people do the activities, they do the strategy, but they don't iterate. They don't look at the math and say what's working and what's not and how do I tweak it. And that's where this last piece comes in. I'm super excited about it. So this last piece over here is Instant will actually give you a dashboard, and it'll break it down between traffic, conversion, and activation. Traffic, let's do that first. It'll tell you how much traffic did you get. And then over here, I chose the last 90 days. We're still working on testing this. So we got about 187 visits out of that. Then it says, out of those traffic, where did they come from? Did it come from LinkedIn? Did it come from YouTube? Did it come from Twitter? So it lists all of that for me as well. It tracks all of that. Then it says, okay, out of that traffic, how many of them converted and became a lead? You'll notice over here, this is how good Instant is in creating landing pages for you. We have a 53% conversion rate. 53% conversion rate, it's generated 98 leads out of 187 visitors, which is incredible. And it breaks it down like, look, LinkedIn is converting at 51%, YouTube is at 61%, Twitter is at 56%, and you got one lead through paid, and so you clearly need to work on that. So paid traffic is not online yet on this. That's pretty cool. Then it says it's not enough. Just because someone became a lead, you know how like the rest of the software is just like, okay, cool, we sent it to you, good luck. That sucks. What you want them to do is you want them to consume the content. And you need to know if your manifesto is any good or not. And this is the thing when I work with founders to build their manifesto. Heck, when I work on my manifestos for my companies, it goes through iterations. It's very nuanced. And so we use this data to understand, is it working? Are they consuming it? And are they activating? So Instant will track the activation rate for you as well. It'll actually look at it and say, cool, what percentage of people that became leads actually clicked on the call to action? They said, yeah, I want to start a trial, or I want to learn more, or I want to talk to sales. How many people actually did that? That's super powerful. And it also tells you how much of your lead magnet are they consuming. So in this case, they're consuming 76%, and it compares it over time. So I put a new version of the manifesto, I can actually tell whether it's improving or not, which is super powerful. The one thing I know for sure, the better the quality of the manifesto, the higher the activation rate, the more pipeline we actually generate, which is super, super important. And so all of this is tracked for you, all the way down to it tells you, hey, where's the activation coming from? Like where are the people that really pay attention and really activate in the sales process? Where are they coming from and what channel? Just this simple dashboard allows me to understand what's working, what do I need to tweak, and how do I take it to the next step. And one thing that's incredible about Instant is you can kind of parse this dashboard and understand it, but if you're like, you know what, I don't fully understand this, like what do I need to do next? Instant has instant optimization. So what it does is it analyzes all of your data and breaks it down between overall, acquisition, activation, pipeline, and revenue to tell you exactly what's working and what's not, and what do you need to tweak. On top of that, let's just say you make a change to your landing page. It has AI built in. So if I go in over here and hit edit and I'm like, you know what, I'm not so sure about the title. Remember, Instant knows my go-to-market strategy. So if I hit this button right over here, it'll use everything it knows about your go-to-market strategy to actually recommend alternative titles for you. Let's just say I go in over here, I'm like, you know what, I think I can do better on how to build trust and social proof. So I can hit this button. It knows my go-to-market strategy. It knows what's working and what's not. So it'll recommend alternative ones for you, and then you can just plug them in right over here. It's that powerful. But where it takes it a step further is you can go in over here and it'll tell you, this is your activation rate, this is your conversion rate, and these are the changes that you made. And based on these changes, whether it's going up or down, you can track. And that's super powerful because as you make these little changes, you can see if your conversion rate's going up or down, and that way you can really optimize it over time. The last piece Instant does using all this data is it does a 12-point analysis on what you can tweak in your landing page or your overall experience. And it goes through it one at a time. Now, I manage this myself. This one scores pretty high because I know what that 12-point is and I've been tweaking all these things. But you may not. You can follow this 12-point checklist and the analysis to actually optimize your landing page over and over and over to really eke out as much performance as possible. And this is the last piece that I want to show you, which is the data matters. So this is why I'm so excited about all these pieces, and I'm doing this myself. I'm in the trenches with you. So over the next few weeks, I'm gonna be publishing more content, I'm gonna be driving more traffic, I'm gonna be turning on ads, and we're generating more pipeline for this SaaS business. And then once it starts to hit a steady state, we'll just be dialing up on our budget and our activity because we know the core funnel works, and we'll be scaling that go-to-market machine. And that's the magic of how all these pieces work together, which is super powerful. So to recap, if you want to build a proper lead magnet and use it to generate pipeline, the first thing you need is a landing page. The second thing you need is a proper lead magnet that's high quality. We call that a manifesto. The third thing you need is a clear call to action. You do these three things, you have your core funnel. Once you have your core funnel, then you can start to measure the data and figure out what's working, what's not, which channel is working, what's not. You can promote it across all the channels and generate quality pipeline. That's the power of this. And when you follow these three pieces of building the landing page and launching the manifesto and having the clear call to action, and then you promote the whole thing using quality content, everything comes together for you. And you know exactly how this whole thing works. And that was my step-by-step. I know this was a longer video. I know this is like super in-depth. If you got value from this, please smash that like button. The YouTube algorithm loves it. If you got value from it, also comment below. I would love to hear from you. Also, if you're in this stage, like, TK, this is great. I want to launch a landing page. Like, I want to promote it. I want to have a lead magnet. Then I encourage you to use Instant. I personally designed Instant based on everything I know about building and scaling go-to-market machines so that it is super effective in getting you results. All you have to do is just go to instantlanding.page. https://instantlanding.page. I'll also link to it below. It's super easy URL. The easiest thing to do is just follow the link below. And then in there, you can literally just start typing things in as far as your go-to-market strategy goes, and it'll start building the page for you, and then you can publish it, and then you can start to promote it. You know, the cool thing about Instant is it'll build a landing page for you, it'll write the content for you, it'll help you promote it for you, and it'll analyze the data to tell you how to improve it, all of it. And so that way you can actually scale your Broadway show. That's all I have for you here today. If you got value from this video, please smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. If you haven't subscribed yet, I drop an episode like this every single Sunday with actionable strategies and tactics from the trenches, truly, like I'm in it with you, on how to grow your SaaS business faster. So be sure to hit that subscribe button and that bell icon. You'll get notified every single time I drop an episode. Also, if you have a fellow founder, team member, a fellow marketer that would get value from this video, please share this video with them. It just means the world to us. We want to help as many SaaS founders and marketers and leaders as possible on how to grow their SaaS businesses faster. And lastly, remember, everyone needs a strategy for their life and their business. When you are with us, yours is going to be unstoppable. I'm TK, and I'll see you in the next episode or inside of Instant. Take care, everybody.